Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Mr. Washlock, and today is the day before the Warrior Tiger ends. Now, this video is going to be basically an entire recap of the Warrior Tiger as a whole. So, here's a little bit of background knowledge. The Warrior Tiger is set in not really a year, but it is set in the time period of ancient China, and mostly the myths and legends of that time are actually real. They're like, here are some of the legends. Here are some of the things. There are three dragons. The Great Red Dragon of Fire, has the power of fire. There is the water dragon, who has the power of, you guessed it, water, and the king of all dragons, who has the power of all the dragons. There used to be more dragons until they were all hunted down for extinction, and then that's why in the Warrior Tiger you can sometimes see dragon watchtowers across the seas, waiting for new dragons to come. But this is gonna be a full recap of the Warrior Tiger as a whole, so you guys can know what the Warrior Tiger is about when the Warrior Tiger last episode comes. So here we go. The Warrior Tiger Season 1, Episode 1. In this episode, nothing really much happens. The Warrior Tiger finds the Elytra of Dragons, which is said to be made from the scales of the dragons themselves, which gives it the ability to flight. There. The Warrior Tiger Season 1, Episode 2, Legend of the First Samurai. The Legend of the First Samurai, basically with the Legend of the first samurai, he's like this god, basically. He's overall a good person. The first samurai, he made peace across both worlds, the Nether and the Overworld. The end is, it's really out of their reach. Then also the first samurai also constructed the Sky Temple, and also he died. Yeah, the first samurai died because he had to sacrifice himself for that world. The reason why is because the Demon King wanted to break free of the Nether. So what the first samurai did is that he sacrificed himself. He used all of his powers to trap the Demon King inside the Nether and the end. So that's why. Now we have The Warrior Tiger Journey to Kanui's Temple, Episode 3. Now, in this episode, the Warrior Tiger travels to Kanui's Temple to get a Prismarine Shard. The reason why he needs to get Prismarine Shards is because he needs to open up a portal to go fight the Demon King so he can stop him. And then, it's one of the three things the Warrior Tiger needs to stop to get to the Demon King. The Warrior Tiger, Season 1, Episode 4. The Warrior Tiger travels to the Nether. Now look, the Demon King didn't know he was there, but they're like guards, basically. There's guards that basically hold everything around the Nether. Like there's someone that appears right before you walk into the portal to go to the Nether. And yeah, the Warrior Tiger needed to go there so he can get the Eternal Flame. And once he got the Eternal Flame, he gave it back to the Great Red Dragon of Fire, because the Great Red Dragon of Fire lost the ability to breathe fire. And also he gave it to Sensei so he can, keep on doing the things. And then Episode 5, Demons Not Far. The Warrior Tiger had been hearing some myths and some news that there were demons in the overworld, which had never been heard from since, the first samurai kind of sealed off the worlds, besides that one singular portal deep inside the desert. So he goes over to the eastern village, and he finds a water demon. He befriends the demon and starts to in the course of the next couple episodes. In the course of the next 3 episodes, the Warrior Tiger goes out and finds some demons. So the Warrior Tiger Episode 6, Season 1, the Black Wind Demon. The Black Wind Demon was hiding out inside of the western mine. So what the Warrior Tiger did is that he calmed him, and then he took him over to this forest temple, or jungle temple, whatever you want to call it. Jungle temples. It's called the jungle temple, but basically he took him there because that was where the Warrior Tiger had all the demons were, because nobody really liked demons because everyone really thought that they were all evil and stuff like that. And then we had the Warrior Tiger Season 1, Episode 7. This episode basically is helping the demons out. In this episode, the Warrior Tiger finds the demons a home, and he starts settling them in. And then he goes off on an adventure for a while, and then he comes back and he finds that there's a riot and there's a mob outside of the demon's new house. So the Warrior Tiger Season 1, Episode 8, season final. Goodbye, demons. The demons are forced to leave their new home because the humans do not like them there, and because the humans are kind of like their own overlord, I guess you could call it. So then the demons are forced to leave. Then we move over to the Warrior Tiger season 2, episode 1, meeting the Demon King. So the Warrior Tiger was flying above the mountains where the red dragon was located. He was just flying around, and then he got sucked down into like this little like pit or something. It was like this like cavern, and he saw a house, and he looked inside, and he saw Haku. Now Haku is the Warrior Tiger's kind of like nemesis, I guess you could call it. The motive of Haku is that he wants to kill the Warrior Tiger and use him as a pelt. Yeah, basically like Red Dead Redemption 2, but in the Warrior Tiger. So with this news, the Warrior Tiger is looking inside. He's like, wonder what he's doing, and then he sees that he's casting like this kind of like, I guess you could say, hologram of the Demon King, and the Demon King is telling Haku his plans on killing Sensei so he can go back to the overworld. So with this news, the Warrior Tiger returns home, and that brings to season 2, episode 2, Time to Reinforce. In this episode, the Warrior Tiger reinforces his entire village. He closes off all the gates, makes arrow dispensers all across the walls, and also made some iron golems to protect them. And then also we move over to the quest for the totem. The Warrior Tiger season 2, episode 3. In this episode, the Warrior Tiger goes out and looks for the Totem of Undying, which is something that had never been seen before, but he needed to go look for it. Like in this world, a lot of things can happen. In this world, there's a lot of things. Like there's a temple that's floating in the sky that's called the Wind Temple. The first samurai created it, and then there's like tree blossom trees that can touch the clouds. They're tall. They're really really tall. And then there's also the giant panda, which it's a giant panda. And then there's also the dragons, because they're flipping dragons. And then we move over, and then the Warrior Tiger had managed to find the Totem of Undying. It was located inside these ruins of like this ancient type of civilization, basically. And he found this chest. It kind of blew up in his face because it was booby trapped by some raiders, probably, or bandits, I guess you could say. But in the end, the Warrior Tiger had found the Totem of Undying. But here's the bad thing that happened. When he returned home, the Warrior Tiger had found that Sensei had been killed. The Sensei had been killed, and the whole quest was literally all for nothing. And then we have the Warrior Tiger season 2, episode 4, the Warrior Tiger versus the Demon King. The Demon King has somehow made his way over to the overworld, and they just had a big fight. The Warrior Tiger had a big fight with the Demon King, and the Warrior Tiger was pushed to the edge of a cliff. The Demon King was taunting him, and then he kicked him off. The Warrior Tiger fell down a waterfall, and then was rushed out to sea, barely to ever seen again. And then the next episode, the Warrior Tiger, season 2, episode 5, the Blade of China. The Warrior Tiger had woken up from his coma, I guess you could call it, and after a couple of days, he finally woke up, and he was like, "What happened?" He flew over with his Elytra of Dragons that he got in episode 1, and he went over to a village, and he saw that the village was kind of overrun by the Demon King. Not the friendly demons, but the Demon King and his mean demons, I guess you could call it. So the Warrior Tiger, with this news, he wanted to go over to the Wind Temple to find the Blade of China. Now, the Blade of China was basically the only way to kill the Demon King. It was the only way inside of Legends. And then we have the next 2 episodes, the Warrior Tiger season 2, episode 6 and 7. Episodes 6 and 7 are going to be called, they're going to be split, they're one episode split into 2. So it's going to be called the Warrior Tiger season 2, series final, episode 6, Everybody Has Demons. Boom. So, with this news, this is basically just an entire recap of the Warrior Tiger as a whole. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video by me, Mr. War. So if you guys enjoyed this video, then like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to watch the Warrior Tiger video coming out tomorrow, which, it's going to be a big episode of the Warrior Tiger. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm Mr. War. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.